just going into really the next topic here is just going to be about OG Anunoby, because you sent out a tweet. So you mentioned the tweet here saying resigning OG was likely because Leon's son is one of his CAA agents. OG missed stretch of 27 of 30 regular season games due to injury, then almost all of the second round. Is he in good enough shape, availability, and durability skill set wise? And then you hashtagged it as how you. So I just wanted to know what is the how you movement that you've been doing, because I've seen it, and also just your thoughts about OG Anunoby if he's going to resign, because again the thought about it is that he's likely going to resign for about 35 to 40 million annually. And that would be a lot of money to give to a player, as you mentioned a couple of times, has missed a lot of chunk in time when the games matter. So I do want to get a little bit more information from you just regarding your thoughts on OG Anunoby. Will you think he's going to resign with the Knicks? And what do you think that price point's going to be?
Right. So everything about OG is durability, in my opinion. He's a fine fit. Obviously, their record was outstanding with him. He doesn't need the ball. When he gets the ball, he hits the open three. Obviously, he's a great team defender, help defender. He's got that position that they've been missing. They traded for Cam Reddish, thinking that could be that fit, that combo forward, small forward, power forward. But it's about durability. He hasn't played 70 games since his rookie year with the Raptors, and I think Masai Ujiri finally decided it's time to move on. The guy has been injured a lot, and then he comes to New York, and sure enough, elbow injury, and then the hamstring. And that tweet about is he in good enough shape, that's something I heard. I heard that maybe he hasn't been in the best shape during his career, and that's possibly why he's been injury prone. Steph Bondy, my successor at the New York Post, had a nice piece during late in the season. He doesn't like to play hurt. He came out for that game 7 against Indiana. He had a couple of shots, but he was so tentative. Thibodeau just could not play him. He played 4 or 5 minutes, and that was it. He wasn't willing to test his hamstring. I think he was afraid of seriously injuring the hamstring again, but it was game 7. So they couldn't play. But listen, if it wasn't for Leon's son, I think the Knicks would have a very tough decision on how much to give this guy when he's been so injury prone. He's a very good fit, but is he a third best player on a NBA Finals team? I mean, durability wise, I'd say he's not the third best player, because if he's not available, then what good is he? But he happens to be a great fit. And with Leon Rose and CAA, and they run the Knicks, I think he'll get his $35 million. I don't think he's worth it. I think it's a big risk. And I do believe, and I think maybe Fred reported it, and I was thinking it for sure, that contract better have a lot of incentives regarding games played.
Right.
I mean, that has to be, I feel that to get his full $35 million a year, it's got to be 70 games. And listen, he's never had a full season with Thibodeau, who will play you major minutes. And that's why I feel that if you sign OG, and even with Josh Hart finally breaking down, you have to talk to Thibodeau and set up a new plan on minutes management. My biggest pet peeve when I covered Thibodeau was, why is he having these guys in the game when they're up 20 points with 5 minutes left? Give them a break. It's February in Detroit. If you blow the lead with your bench in Detroit in February, well, it's a loss and you deserve to lose. He's got to manage these guys' minutes better. It's a marathon, not a sprint. OG will get his money. I think that Sixers story was a plant by CAA to show James Dolan, hey, you're not bidding against yourselves. There is another team out there with cap space that would give OG at least $30 million.
You know, the thing with OG Anunoby, and I agree, I've always had a difficult time pegging his value just because of the availability, because I always think that's such a crucial factor, because I can say the same thing about Joel Embiid, superstar, MVP level player, but then when the chips are down and you need him the most, what level of player are you going to get? And that's the concern, I think, anytime you pay somebody like that. I did hear Fred Katz, Bondi, and also Bagley, all of the guys, basically report on the fact that they're looking to put some type of incentive into the contract to hopefully prevent from the injuries. But again, when you have to include those type of incentives into a contract, that also determines the worth and value of the contract. So I am very interested to see what he's going to get. But the fact that Sam Rose is his agent, I think he's going to get very well paid, maybe not overpaid, but definitely a little bit more than maybe other teams may have thought about paying him. The Knicks right now, they used to be the team that had to go out to get every star. But given the fact what they're building, when healthy, I think they're being more selective with the star that they want to add. They want to add the right piece, the right fit, to your point, somebody who is durable, that can last a lot. That's why for me,
fit-wise, Mikal Bridges is the target I want the Knicks to look at.
He's also not realistic because you have a GM in Sean Marks in Brooklyn, who really doesn't know what he's doing over there. The Nets owner says that he wants to basically start anew. He wants to slowly rebuild, have a contender for the future. And then you have reports coming out saying Sean Marks wants to build around Mikal Bridges, which I think is a huge mistake. He's not the player you build around, and then have a star to attract to Brooklyn to play with them. So I understand that the Mikal Bridges trade is probably as least likely as the KD trade is right now. But if they both were available, do you think that Mikal Bridges offers the better fit and long-term option, or would it still be KD for you in that situation?
To win one championship, it's KD. But getting to Mikal, Joe Tsai is not handing Bridges over to the Knicks.
Right.
It's franchise suicide. I know they've made a lot of bad maneuvers, but I mean, I just cannot imagine the Nets giving the Knicks Bridges. And it would be a great chemistry fit, I think, because of the three Nova guys. And listen, the three Nova guys is a terrific trio. But I think you need a little more upside to go to a championship than Mikal brings. He's a great Nova guy, and he's going to fit in very well. But does he make you a champion? And I'm not sure he makes you a champion. But the bigger point is, I can't imagine Tsai giving him to the Knicks. And Jalen, and there was a funny social media post, obviously, by Bridges the other day. Why don't you come to the Nets?
Right.
And Josh responds, "Are they holding you hostage?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. I want the Knicks to build around those three Nova guys. I just don't think that a fourth is gonna happen. But I'll tell you, Josh Hart and Jalen and Dante, it was a joy to watch them. The chemistry, the back cuts, and they know where each other is on the floor. I mean, it was watching some of that run when they were playing at their best. It was really a joy. I'll tell you, the chemistry and the grit. And I mean, those three will be back.
Right.
But to win a championship, you need more.
If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knicks fans, and until next time, peace.